WHBF for 70 years of serving Quad Cities.
From all of us here at CBS and the Unicorn, congratulations to WHBF on 70 years in the Quad Cities.
Hi, I'm Kevin Frazier. From all of us here at Entertainment Tonight, we want to congratulate WHBF on 70 years of serving the community in the Quad Cities. Congrats.
All of us at the Dr. Oz Show want to congratulate WHBF for 70 years of providing the best in local news, weather, sports, and entertainment to everyone in the Quad Cities.
From all of us here at CBS and SEAL Team, congratulations to WHBF on 70 years in the Quad Cities.
Congratulations, WHBF, on 70 years of outstanding local broadcasting for the Quad Cities.
Beef stew bread bowl for $6.99 for a limited time, only at Mayrite.
And now, here is your forecast first with Chief Meteorologist Andy McCrae.
Above average again today in the Quad Cities. The normal highs in the lower 30s. We've been in the lower 40s late this afternoon, early this evening. It is 39 in Geneseo. Clouds continue to thicken up, and later tonight there's a slim chance for a little bit of light rain or drizzle, and then as it gets colder, that could be a little bit of light freezing drizzle or a little bit of light snow. I don't expect a whole lot of any of that, just a slim chance for that light wintry mix. That shows up on the forecast first, then things will be a little bit colder as we get into the day Tuesday. I'll let you know if it warms up again anytime soon here in just a few minutes on Local 4 News at 5.
WHBF is local for you. This is Local 4 News at 5.
Good evening. I'm Ann Sterling. Thanks for choosing Local 4 News at 5 o'clock. The candidates, their campaign stops, and all the commercials. Months of hard work leads to one big night right here in the Hawkeye State, the Iowa Caucus. Your local election headquarters is all over it. We have special coverage that begins right now and won't end until 11:30 tonight. Here at home, we have Local 4's Zachary Witteke. He is covering the biggest Democratic caucus in Scott County, taking place in Bettendorf. Local 4's Eric Zizich is covering Republicans in Davenport. But first, let's go to Local 4 News anchor Jim Needleman. He is live from Iowa's capital, which tonight is Caucus Central. Jim, good evening.
And hello, hundreds of members of the media will be here at the Media Filing Center playing the watching and waiting game for those returns tonight. All the major outlets are here, as well as some international media, as Iowa becomes the belle of the ball, if you will, in this Democratic Party's nomination process. The Republicans, of course, not necessarily as big of a deal tonight. We will be focused on those screens behind me, waiting for those results to come in, and we'll get the raw results from the Democrats for the first time they've ever done before. So that'll be interesting to watch. And what a ride it's been to get here. More than 24 Democrats declare their candidacy for president at some point. That's been whittled down to 11. Only 9 of them actually campaigned in Iowa. This is the first stop along the way that will end with the last primaries in June. The magic number to watch was 1,990. That's the number of pledged delegates it will take one of those Democrats to earn the Democratic Party's nomination. Tonight, Iowa only allocates 41 of those. Well, pretty interesting, because the next few weeks we'll add New Hampshire, Nevada, South Carolina for another 114. Then March 3rd will probably be one of the biggest prizes of all. 14 states holding primaries and caucuses, almost 1,400 delegates up for grabs then. This night, though, we get out of the starting gates, and some will be walking home with Iowa in their bag, becoming the front runner in this campaign for the Democrats. All that momentum to be grabbed, and it is possible that the Democrats will see a record turnout tonight, and we'll be here for you throughout the evening, throughout the duration, until we see who walks away as a winner tonight in Iowa. For now, reporting live from Des Moines at the Media Filing Center, and back to you in the studio.
No doubt, Jim. The spotlight, the national spotlight, is right here on Iowa tonight. Thank you. We'll see you soon. There will be 1,678 caucus sites around Iowa tonight. Those who attend will align into candidate preference groups. To qualify for delegates, a candidate must receive at least 15% support at each site. If a candidate doesn't meet that minimum, those supporters can then pick another candidate. This is called realignment. Local 4's Zachary Witteke knows what issues are important to voters in eastern Iowa. In fact, he spent 2 weeks traveling up and down the Mississippi to find out. Tonight, he is live in Bettendorf right now, where in just, we have 2 hours now until caucusing will begin at the Waterfront Convention Center. Zachary, what's the mood there right now?
And the caucus site here at the Riverfront Convention Center is set to be the biggest in Scott County. There's going to be 11 precincts here. It's about 3,000 people in total, so there's going to be a lot of opinions. I spent the last couple weeks speaking with voters who are going to be caucusing all around eastern Iowa tonight and got to hear some of their concerns, and here's what they said.
There's going to be 1,600 caucus sites around Iowa tonight.
Depending on the party, the atmosphere at some sites will look different than others, but they're all working towards the same thing.
I think you can find pretty much universal agreement that our main objective is to make sure Trump is not reelected.
Well, our party is interested in reelecting Donald Trump. We think the president is doing a great job.
The list of issues deciding which one of those will happen is long, and there's one issue most people will tell you is at the top of their list.
The economy. That's number one. I don't care what party you're in. I don't care what candidate you're thinking about. The economy is the driving force.
Most will tell you it's going pretty well. But when it comes to the backbone of Iowa, the farmers, you hear a lot of this.
It's been the last 2 years have been extremely hard. The prices are not where they should be, and they're not going to be.
And some do want change. Others see it as a necessary setback.
Something needed to be shook up. He's got it shook up, and I actually hope he shakes it up for the next 4 or 5 years.
Healthcare is also a big deal, but the issue is different depending on where you are. There's obviously the rise in costs, but for those in more rural areas, access is the real problem.
I think our healthcare system is important. We're losing our rural hospitals because there's not enough funding from Medicare, Medicaid to keep them going.
And depending on where you are, there's a ton more issues.
The environment is probably is very big.
The one that is very personal for us in Mount Pleasant is immigration.
No matter who people want to see in the Oval Office or what they care about, they all want the same thing.
We live in the United States. We're very privileged people, but life can be better.
And tonight is the first step. The doors are set to open here pretty soon, but the actual caucus begins at 7. I'll have more for you later on when that gets going. But for now, live in Bettendorf, Zachary Winicky, Local 4 News.
Zachary, thank you. You know, volunteers have been working since this morning at the Waterfront Convention Center, making sure everything is ready for tonight. Scott County's Democratic chair says they have been working hard to make sure things run smoothly this evening. Local 4's Carla Sosa has more.
Maria Bresco is just one of the many volunteers at this year's Bettendorf Caucus site and said that all the volunteers go through training.
I did online training because this year the caucus rules were changed. And the significant change is that now, the big change is that if you're viable, if you're in a viable preference group, you can no longer change.
According to Scott County's Democratic chairwoman, this is the first time that the Waterfront Convention Center will be used for caucus.
So we actually have it divided by precincts, so folks will kind of come in and find their room within the convention center.
Brie Bresco said that they are doing everything they can to make sure things run smoothly tonight.
To make sure that there's clear signs to help people direct them to where they need to go. As it is, we're expecting a lot of people. The weather's great. And the number of candidates tells me that we're going to have a lot of people.
Gaiman has advice for people who will be attending tonight's caucus at the convention center.
Asking people to pack their patience because there's going to be lines, there's going to be trouble parking. If you can carpool, please do so.
As for Bresco, she has one piece of advice to all Iowa voters.
Caucus, it's really important. Your voice, it's not necessarily a vote, but it really matters now because your voice will be amplified by participating in the caucus.
In Bettendorf, Carla Sosa, Local 4 News.
As Jim mentioned, it is also caucus night for Republicans. It's a much smaller field consisting of President Donald Trump, former U.S. Representative from Illinois, Joe Walsh, and former Massachusetts Governor Bill Weld. Local 4's Eric Zizich live right now at Davenport West with more on how things will go down there tonight. Eric.
And it's a different focus here at the Republican caucus that's coming up at 7. The goal to be able to turn Scott County back to red and re-elect President Donald Trump. And to tell us a little bit more about tonight, I have Ray Hari and Janita McNulty. So you both are vice chairs of the Republicans in Scott County. And so thanks for being here. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Absolutely. So when we look at over the last few years, unemployment numbers have been at an all-time low. We've seen a booming economy, a recent trade deal with China, which has helped Iowa farmers. At the same time, some would say the president's behavior may be a little off-putting, especially when it comes to younger voters. So with all of that's happened in the last 3 years, Ray, we'll start with you. What do you think of the last few?
Well, I tell you, I've been a big Reagan fan since I was that age, and I always thought he was the greatest president who ever lived, but I can't recall Reagan knocking off a list of campaign promises the way President Trump has knocked off his campaign promises. I mean, ISIS is on the run, regulations have been cut, there was a tax cut, we've got record low minority unemployment rates, as you just stated, and there's just more good to come.
Absolutely. And so now, when it comes to the Democratic race, it's a pretty tight one. So who would you say poses the toughest challenge to President Trump?
I think President Trump is ready for any one of them. Whoever the people elect to go forward, President Trump is ready to take them on and eager to do so.
Absolutely. Now, on a local level, tonight's pretty big. There's a lot of important things going on. And so what would you say tonight is maybe the biggest impact?
I think it's very important for both parties to have good turnout tonight across the state to help maintain our first-in-the-nation caucus status. That's important for both of us.
Absolutely. Well, thank you so much for joining us. I'm sure you have a busy night, plenty going on for the Scott County Republicans, the caucus tonight, and we'll have more coming up at 6. But for now, live in Davenport, Eric Zizich, Local 4 News.
Eric, thank you. And Local 4 News will provide special caucus coverage throughout the night. Live coverage from Des Moines begins at 6:30. That is followed by a special edition of Local 4 News at 10 o'clock. At 10:35, we will send it back out there to Des Moines with all the reaction to tonight's caucus results. Keep it right here for your local election headquarters. But right now, let's talk about your weather, because temperatures were gorgeous yesterday. I'm not complaining today either.
Still above average today. That changes, though, over the next couple of days. Now, we do have the chance for a little bit of a light wintry mix to move in later tonight. That should be after everybody heads out to caucus. I'll have those details for you in just a couple of minutes on Local 4 News at 5.
WHBF is local for you with Jim Needleman, Ann Sterling, and Chief Meteorologist Andy McCrae. This is Local 4 News at 5 in high definition. Portions of Local 4 News are brought to you by Honda.
He's thinking recliner, you're thinking sofa. It's okay. Everyone wins at the President's Sale at Slumberland Furniture. And did you know you can get free shipping with no minimum? And most items can be in your home in a week. Our biggest sale of the year at Slumberland Furniture.
Wait, once you take that bite, you can't go back to breakfast like this.
Little squirt of mayo?
I'm good.
It's time to change your life for breakfast. Freshly prepared chicken McGriddles and McChicken biscuits are now at McDonald's. Wake up breakfast.
Right now, mix and match a savory chicken McGriddles and a buttery McChicken biscuit, any two for $3. Then add any size icy cold Dr. Pepper for just $1.
He's thinking new mattress, you're thinking whole new bed. It's okay. Everything's on sale at the President's Mattress Sale at Slumberland Furniture. This Sealy Posturepedic mattress for only $394. That's over $800 off. Our biggest sale of the year at Slumberland Furniture.
When the snow flies and winter weather is at its worst, we are at our best. Get the area's most accurate information and your local pinpoint forecast from Local 4 News.
Call ET Communications for your custom-built phone system. Whether you have a need for 1 or 2 lines or need 100 extensions, we are the team that can build it. ET Communications, keeping the Quad City area connected.
Wow, that's Ensure Max Protein with high protein and 1 gram sugar.
It's a sit-up, banana, bend at the waist. I'm trying. Keep it up. You'll get there. Whoa!
30 grams of protein and 1 gram of sugar. Ensure Max Protein.
To be a great explorer, you need intelligent four-wheel drive, an active terrain management system, the most available driver assist technology of any vehicle in its class, and enough cargo space for any adventure. The all-new 2020 Ford Explorer. It's the greatest exploration vehicle of all time.
Now, get Ford Explorer with 0% financing, plus $1,500 bonus cash. See your local Ford dealer today.
Get the latest weather conditions with the Our Quad Cities app whenever you need them, so you don't get caught by surprise.
Are you ready?
Now show me what you got!
This February and March, watch every championship game live. The IHSA Basketball Championships play here.
And now, Chief Meteorologist Andy McCrae with your local pinpoint forecast.
Skies are clouding up here in the Quad Cities. The automated weather sensors, they don't do a great job of picking up this high, thin cloud cover that has moved in so far, and that's why it looks like it's sunny, according to the graphic there. 41 degrees is the temperature. The normal high is only in the lower 30s. Our Quad Cities cam also showing the clouds that have rolled into the area, and we are looking at temperatures that are above normal, so it feels pretty good outside again today, though it's not as warm as it was yesterday. I'll show you more about those numbers. Well, let's go ahead and do it right now. There was a lot of snow melting yesterday. What a day it was. We had a ton of sunshine, and the high temperature was 57. That's the second warmest day of the year so far. The record for yesterday, Groundhog Day, that was 58, so we only missed that by 1 degree. Today it's above average. It just wasn't quite as warm as it was yesterday. 44 for the high in the Quad Cities right now. It's 41. When you compare the 5 o'clock temperatures today compared to what we had yesterday, it is a little bit cooler out there, especially southwest of the Quad Cities. All right, you can see all these clouds that have rolled into the area. Eventually, they produce a little bit of light rain, drizzle, and potentially a little bit of slight snow tonight. You don't see a whole lot of it on the map here, though, so I don't think we'll have widespread rain or anything like that. Just enough drizzle out there that things will be a little damp. And as temperatures go down below freezing, that could be a little bit of freezing drizzle, so slim chance for a little bit of that later on. Wednesday starts off dry, but then by Wednesday night, the chance for snow moves in, especially southeast of the Quad Cities. Tonight, it is only a slim chance for a wintry mix, 28 for the low. Tomorrow, mostly cloudy, colder than the last couple of days, 32. Chance for snow Wednesday night, and our highs are going to be back down around freezing for the next several days. Here's a quick look at weather trivia, and we have a new sponsor this week. It's Stitch Please. And here's the question. What's the warmest temperature we've ever had in February in the Quad Cities? Let us know what you think. We'll have the answer in the winter 1 hour from now.
Oh, those are all nice temperatures, Andy. Thank you.
They all sound pretty good. And boy, yesterday, what a day. What a Super Bowl Sunday here in the Quad Cities.
I agree with you. Thank you. There is less than 2 hours until the Iowa caucus begins. Our coverage continues next with Local 4's Jim Needleman. You're watching Local 4 News at 5.
7-day forecast on Local 4 News is brought to you by Checkers. Fries for 79 cents until the temperature hits 79 degrees.
I know how to make government work. I've worked across the aisle to reach consensus. If I'm elected your president, I'm going to do whatever it takes to make progress on the matters that matter most. Civil liberties, civil rights, national security, a climate change policy that will save our children and grandchildren and this planet.
Unite the Country is responsible for the content of this advertising.
Ready to go when you are.
Wow, you look nice. Getting around isn't as easy as it used to be. That's why we called Bath Fitter. They removed our old tub and installed a beautiful new spacious shower. Now, getting in and out is a breeze. And we have peace of mind with seamless walls that provide a watertight fit, plus their lifetime guarantee. Thanks to Bath Fitter, life is so much easier with a shower we love.
Call today for this month's offer.
I handle some tough cases in my courtroom.
Order.
But nothing comes close to how I'm judged by my mother.
Lola Carmichael is a Band-Aid on Lady Justice's gushing jugular.
I stand by what I said.
Didn't mean to hurt you, Lola.
Why are you diminishing this?
You're blowing it up.
With that robe, I have the power to change the world one person at a time.
Maybe you should be out there with the people instead of looking down at them.
A new All Rise, tonight at 9/8 Central on CBS.
So with Dish, you get the Hopper, TV's most powerful DVR. It holds up to 2,000 hours. It holds all your favorite shows.
Fold in the raspberry cream mixture. Give it a jolly good turn.
Oh, this is the one where she makes the decorative fondant out of meringue.
What it does not hold,
Perfect.
Really, Clint?
it holds no judgment.
Love fondant.
Beautiful.
Whatever your passion, record up to 2,000 hours of it with Dish. Tuned in to you.
If you have hearing loss, you can still enjoy the convenience of your cell phone with a mini cell phone amplifier, free to all qualified Illinois residents from ITAC. Secure, easy, free. Stay connected on the go. Learn more about this free program at itactty.org. Keep Illinois connected.
It's the Auto Show this weekend at the River Center Davenport.
Kohler Electric is proudly celebrating 50 years of service to the Quad City area. Friendly, on time, and no surprise billings. On behalf of the Kohler family, thank you.
Around here, we don't let winter weather stop us. We all have to work. provide for our families, and get things done. I'm Local 4 Chief Meteorologist Andy McCrae. When storms threaten to close schools, make driving dangerous, knock out your power, you don't need hype. You need the Quad Cities' most reliable and responsible forecast from people you can trust. Because the more you know about what's coming, the better prepared you'll be for whatever Mother Nature dishes out.
Winter weather coverage on Local 4 News is brought to you by Kohler Electric.
Back to your local election headquarters, where presidential candidates are getting their first real test in this political season. And tonight could go to anyone. The latest CBS News poll from Iowa shows Joe Biden and Bernie Sanders in a tie with 25% support. Pete Buttigieg is not far behind. You see right there at 21%. Elizabeth Warren and Amy Klobuchar round out the top 5. Local 4's Jim Needleman has more from media headquarters in Des Moines.
Hello again from the Media Filing Center in Des Moines for the Iowa caucuses. One thing you cannot say about the Iowa caucus is that you've seen one caucus, you've seen them all. Certainly they're all different candidate size, different candidates themselves. And one man, though, has seen a few fair share of his own caucuses joins me now, Major Garrett, CBS News Chief Washington correspondent. Thanks for some time this evening.
Great to be with you. Very excited about tonight.
So how many caucuses is this for you, Mike?
I've either covered or edited copy about every caucus since 1996.
So that's a lot of caucuses.
Yes.
So what, I guess, storyline for the Democrats really is where the interesting races are. What storyline interests you the most tonight?
3 things. One, turnout. 238,000 is the largest back in 2008. That was a super exciting caucus. Barack Obama, Hillary Clinton, John Edwards. All projections are 250, 260, maybe 300,000. That would speak to a deeply energized Iowa Democratic Party, which would fascinate me not only for now, but for the national election coming up in November. 2, I'm fascinated by the fact that by historical standards, this has been a very soft-elbowed caucus. Democrats are not elbowing each other, no haymakers, no big charges. Why? Because of the psychology of unity. This party knows it has to come together by whomever the nominee is. That's the other thing that interests me. The third thing is how many well-organized campaigns there are. You could legitimately say there are 5 campaigns that are up on their toes, been in many counties, and thoroughly organized for what comes tonight. That also strikes me as very new.
Does the Iowa voters have a potential to send a message tonight about which direction this party is going in terms of being more progressive or more moderate?
Sure, but I'm of the mind that it's probably going to be a muted message coming out of here. Joe Biden kind of played pundit on Friday. He said, look, if it's 21, 20, 19, 18, we all get a few delegates, we go to the next place. If that's the way it lands, he's right about that. But if, as he also said, it's 25 and someone's at 13, that 13 is out as far as I was concerned. That could be Biden. There are some anxieties within his camp. Oh, he could be first or he could be fourth. Yikes. That's a big difference. And how well Vice President Biden's campaign is organized statewide is going to play out very dramatically tonight.
Who do you find then is under the most pressure to perform well tonight? Is it Biden? Is it Sanders? Maybe Klobuchar because she's just in the north of Minnesota?
Well, Klobuchar certainly has expectations to beat, and there's no evidence yet, and it may materialize, that she's going to have this late surge. I think one of the things that would have helped her is something like 2004, where Dick Gephardt and Howard Dean smashed each other in the mouth on TV for 2 weeks, and sunny alternative John Edwards swooped right in. She hasn't had that opening, and the other campaigns still keep going and well organized. So I think Amy Klobuchar is going to be left on the outside looking in. What I'm fascinated by is how well is Elizabeth Warren organized. She has a great reputation of focusing on details. She hired good people here early. She could get a late surge, and that could bring her into a respectable third or second.
What about the Democratic Party as a whole? Do you think there might be some internal strife? They had that strict debate qualifying standard. Now they say that sort of kept some of the candidates out of the later debates and, got out of the race. And now you have these relaxing standards coming in that might help a guy like Mike Bloomberg. Is that going to cause some internal strife for the party, do you think, potentially?
I'm not sure, because I do think for those who are still in and who will be in after Iowa, they're going to want Bloomberg on the stage. And if that means changing the standards, you've got to change the standards, because Bloomberg, from their perspective, can't just keep getting a free ride, spending his money on his terms and not engaging, except on his terms at his events. They want direct engagement. They're going to have to start taking him on. So I think that's going to cause some minor league upset. But in the main, even if Elizabeth Warren says, well, I don't think those things should be changed, she wants to take on Mike Bloomberg. Bernie Sanders definitely wants to take on Mike Bloomberg, and he should be taken on. If you want to be the Democratic nominee, guess what you've got to do? You've got to debate other Democrats and not just run TV ads, of which he has done a tremendous amount of. I also think the big story tonight is if Sanders wins, and it's a convincing win, that's a minor league earthquake in the Democratic Party. That create possibly a freak-out factor among Democrats who are not comfortable with Bernie Sanders either ideologically or what they think his intentions are as a leader of this party. And that could also make the Bloomberg factor even more important, and all the more reason to have him on stage.
It's in front-runner status in that case. Major Garrett, thanks for the conversation. Thanks for your insight. Have fun tonight.
I will. My pleasure. Always great to be in Des Moines.
Fantastic. And, of course, we'll be checking in with you throughout the evening here from Media Filing Center. From Des Moines, Jim Needleman, back to you in the studio.
Jim, thank you. We check in next with Chief Meteorologist Andy McCrae. He is back with another check of your work week forecast after a beautiful Monday. We'll see you in a few minutes.
Portions of Local 4 News are brought to you by Culver's.
If you're a parent, you've had this thought, our kids are not all right. We're leaving them a future that is far darker than the lives that we have led. We are going through the greatest economic transformation in our country's history, and it is pushing more and more of our people to the side. We talk as if Donald Trump is the cause of all of our problems. He is not. He is a symptom, and we need to cure the disease. The American dream that my parents came here to find is dying before our eyes. I'm running for president because I'm a parent and a patriot, and I have seen the future that we're leaving for our kids, and it is not something I'm willing to accept. We need to create a new way forward for our people. Join us in rewriting the rules of the 21st century economy so that we can look our kids in the eyes and say to them, and believe it, your country loves you, your country values you, and you will be all right.
I'm Andrew Yang, and I approve this message.
Your local pinpoint forecast is on the Quad City's greatest hits, the new Kit 1049.
Your prescription comes to $72.20.
That's larceny.
I know.
This is outrageous. Something must be done to control prescription drug prices.
Martin Sheen went on a viral rant.
People can't choose between paying rent.
Someone should tell them about Single Care.
Single Care, Martin.
Single Care, Dad, and drive prescription costs down.
Are you talking about the Single Care app?
I was actually going to mention that you could save up to 80% with Single Care.
You knew about this?
I didn't want to interrupt. Felt like a West Wing moment.
Take 10 seconds to lower the cost of your prescriptions.
We might not always know what the day will bring, but some things are certain. The sun will rise and your lights will go on. That's because at MidAmerican Energy, we're obsessively, relentlessly committed to providing you energy when and where you need it, to connecting with you and keeping our communities safe and strong. Because the most important thing we put our energy into is you. We're obsessively, relentlessly at your service.
Tonight on Local 4 News at 6 o'clock, our caucus coverage continues. Plus, we're going to hear from Iowa's Democratic Party chair with more on how some late entries in the race really could impact the nomination process. But now, Chief Meteorologist Andy McCrae joining us for another check of your forecast after a gorgeous Monday. You might be the most popular guy on caucus night.
Oh, you should have seen me yesterday in the Quad Cities. It was even better then. As you know, today not bad. Well, now the steam kind of runs out of our great little weather run. Highs are back down around freezing over the next couple of days. Tonight, there's a slim chance for a little bit of light drizzle or light rain. Most of that happens after the caucuses wrap up.
All right, Andy, thank you. And thank you for joining us. We'll see you right back here at 6 o'clock.
Follow Local 4 News 24 hours a day on OurQuadCities.com. Hairstyles provided by Infinity Salon and Spa.
Now get a Ford F-150 with $11,489 in total estimated savings, or get 0 for 72-month financing.
Our big pet care sale is going on now at Blaine's Farm and Fleet. We're your animal experts with great deals on a massive selection of pet food, supplies, and more. Get an instant $10 Farm and Fleet gift card when you buy select large bags of Hill's Science Diet dog or cat food. $5 off select large bags of Taste of the Wild dog food. Save 25% on select dog and cat toys. And select Farm and Fleet bird food and suet is half off. Don't miss our big pet care sale going on now at Blaine's Farm and Fleet.
Start
Start your next project at Menards and save today with 11% off everything. Mastercraft makes great doors inside and out. Choose from our great selection of stock doors or design your door your way in-store and online with our Door Designer. Get this 6-panel pre-finished bright white interior door system. It features a raised panel design with a wood grain texture. Right now, just $97.89 after 11% off. Get 11% off everything now at Menards.
Save big money at Menards.
Want to see what's going to happen outside? Get your pinpoint forecast from the Local 4 News weather team 24/7 with Alexa. Go to ourquadcities.com to learn more. Get it now.
iMeg presents the 2020 Martini Shake-Off, benefiting the Have Life Foundation. Sample martinis and delicious appetizers as your favorite Quad Cities establishments compete for the best martini. The Martini Shake-Off is at the River Center Thursday, February 20th. Tickets are on sale now at havelife.org. The Martini Shake-Off, brought to you by these sponsors.
Are you ready? Now show me what you got! This February and March, watch every championship game live. The IHSA Basketball Championships play here.